Hi everyone. Today we are going to understand what is time travel in the Snowflake. So I wanted to explain you the complete end-to-end time travel use case in the Snowflake. Okay, and also we can understand how time travel is going to useful for our real-time purposes as well. So we already know the continuous data protection life cycle in Snowflake. Suppose if you are going to insert some data in the database table, at the time you are not going to update, delete, or any DML or DDL operations you are not doing to your data. At the time, the data is going to store in the current data storages. And if the data is if you did something like a delete some update you happened but for your purposes, then the data moved into the time travel retention from 1 to 90 days. Once the time travel retention period also completed, the data is going to move to the fail-safe mode. There, for transient table, we are going to give 0 days, and for terminal table, we have an option to have the 7 days. Remaining tables, we don't have any option for the fail safe. So this is the continuous data protection life cycle in Snowflake. First of all, first is the current data storage, time travel retention, and third is the fail safe. Now I wanted to explain you the time travel retention in Snowflake. How can we use time travel? What is the different methods we have? Okay, so everything I am going to explain you in this video. Okay, and now let's have this is the real documentation provided by Snowflake, and also I have prepared one documentation also for you guys. So just have a look on this documentation. I'm going to explain you from scratch to advanced in this documentation only. Basically, what is a time travel? Imagine you have a rewind button for your data. Okay, suppose rewind button means you already know that something happened to our data, and we have a rewind button to get that data back to our database. This is a concept I'm telling you. Time travel lets you access the data as it existed at any point in the past. Okay, up to the retention window. One thing you have to remember is it can get back the data, previous data, but up to the retention window only. How much retention window you are giving to your table, that much retention only we can get the data from the time travel option. Suppose where it is useful in the real time. That's the question, right? Think of Google Docs, Google documentation version history. You can go back and see what your document looked like yesterday. Suppose you did some changes to your Google documentation and everything is fine and you saved. You wanted to understand yesterday, 12 July 2026 at 1 o'clock, how would my document look like? That is also one advantage, right? A real world analogy. How you wanted to see your data, that is called as a time travel in Snowflake. Okay. S- the same thing for database tables. Automatically, we can use a time travel in the Snowflake. This is just example for your understanding, but I'm telling. Just remind that time travel is going to get your data back. Okay, and when it is going to helpful. Okay, what is the use case when this time travel is majorly used in our real time? Someone accidentally deleted important data. Okay, important records. Okay, new data engineer came, he don't know and he deleted unintentionally. Okay, and a bad update overwrite correct values. Some pipeline is running and all by without proper something is happened to that pipeline, it is updating our data, but that is very bad update. We don't want that updates. At that time, time travel is very useful for us. You need to audit what changed and when changed. Just you wanted to know this is, you don't have a mindset to retrieve the data, but you want to understand how our data looks like 1 week back or yesterday or day before yesterday, and what's the reason and all also you cannot know. And you dropped a table by mistake, if you did something you can retrieve that back up to the retention period. How this is going to work? Okay, everything is fine. And how this time travel is working in Snowflake, because this option is not available in some other databases, right? A data warehouse. How Snowflake really works out of this? Okay, Snowflake stores data in the form of micro partitions. Okay, Snowflake stores data in the form of micro partitions. Whatever data you are giving to warehouse and the data store, it is going to store in the micro partition. One, two, three. How many partitions it want? It is going to store the data. Okay, suppose if something change, and this is a immutable data. Micro partition is immutable. If something is going to change, like salary got updated from 9,000 to 6,000, that 6,000 is moved to the old partition. This is a old partition, and the new 10,000, maybe salary increases from 6,000 to 10,000. 10,000 is going to store into the new micro partition, and old is going to have here. Okay, Snowflake stores micropartition, and that is a immutable files or immutable storages. When data changes, old partitions are kept in storage only. They are not going to remove your data. They'll remove after your retention period and failsafe are going to come. Okay, for the retention period, time travel reads those old partitions. Whenever you are writing a time travel query, the snowflake is going to point, instead of new partition table, it is going to point to our old partition data. This is how snowflake is going to work in the behind the scenes retention period. Okay, so in the snowflake we have an edition. So what are the editions means? For the pricing purposes, for the standard understanding of the features and all, snowflake divided its editions into four types. One is a standard, enterprise, business critical, and one more is the virtual advanced thing is there. Okay, mostly this is not we are not going to use much. We most of the companies will stop using the enterprise data edition in snowflake. For standard we have only max 1 day, only 1 day, single day time travel retention is there. Okay, and for the enterprise edition we have 0 to 90 days. Okay, by default, if you are not giving any retention period to your table while creating a table, at the time by default the retention period is 1 day. You pay storage for retained historical data, means it is not a free. Okay, time travel is not a free feature provided by snowflake. If you are retaining your historical data, means your past deleted or dropped data, you have to pay for them. Okay, remind these words. For the enterprise data, the snowflake has 0 to 90 days option is there. By default it has 1 day, and for standard edition we have 0 to 1 day. And snowflakes internally uses micro partitions, and those are immutable. When data changes in one of the table, like updates or deletes happen, the data in the old partitions are kept only. It is not going to update or delete, and the new changes are going to have in the new partition. Likewise, the retention period is applies on the table. Okay, done. I hope everybody understand the conceptual understanding and theoretical understanding, right? And snowflake time travel has a three types actually. I'm going to explain you three types. What are good three types also I'm going to explain you. First of all, for your easy understanding purpose, I am creating a table. If you want, you already have any table, you can have, and you can use the same. I'm creating a database here, and also I'm going to create a table also for you. Next, I'm going to create a schema. See here, I'm going to create a schema. Time travel lab is my database and practice is my schema. And then I am using, already these two are in use. If you want to check, you can check here. Okay, got it right? And then create a table. What table I'm creating? I'm creating a orders table, and also I'm inserting some records to order table as customer name, product, amount, status, and order date. See here, now I'm inserting record, I'm creating a table, everything in the same schema which we created latestly. And also I'm querying my orders table. Okay, see here. See, this is my data. How many records I have? I have 10 records. First of all, I already told you the retention. If you see the table creation, see, I just created a table, right? I haven't mentioned anything about the retention here. If you want, I'll show you how to give retention also. The table which we don't give retention, right, at the time, for this is enterprise edition. By default, the retention period is how many days? 1 day. Yes, you are correct. It is 1 day. How to see that one? How can we see the retention? How many days are there? For that, you have to use the show tables. If you just click on show tables, it is going to give what are the available tables in that respective database. Okay, as of now I have only one table, that's why it is coming like this. If you wanted to see only the table, like orders, you can give. Okay, time travel db, and here you will get one option called retention time. How many days it is? One day. As expected, it should be one day, right? Look at the retention date time column in results. Default is one day. I wanted to change this retention date from one day to 3 days. Okay, how can I do? You have to just use the alter table name, set data retention time in days. This is the column you have to keep, is equal to 3. That's it. Alter table table name, set retention time in days is equal to 3. And I wanted to, this is a table level you are giving, and retention you can change according to the levels also. This is a table level change, and also you can give retention period in the database level as well. At the time, alter database name, set data retention time in days is equal to 2. And also we can do alter schema practice set data retention time in days is equal to 3, and this is a schema level. And if you are going to give schema level, and it is going to override the database level. Okay, and if you are going to give the table level, it is going to override the schema level and the database level. Okay, suppose database level you have given 3, and schema level you have given 1, and table level if you have given 4. For this order table, it is going to take 4, not 2 or not 1. Okay, I hope everybody understood. Now I am executing all my retentions, and also I am setting my retention as a 5. See, 5 is my table, and schema 3, database 2. We'll see what is my retention for this respective table. Show, right? Show tables like orders. Check the, see how many days are there? 5 days. I already told it, it is going to override. That's one you have to remember. Now, that is the hierarchy it is going to give. And I don't want any time travel. That is a very rare table which we are using at that time. You can easily alter table and see here, this is the query. Alter table order set retention time is equal to 0. If you are keeping 0, then we are disabling the time travel. Okay, and this is not at all recommended for production. That one thing you have to remember here. And and all the tables in that respect to schema, all the tables, how, what is the retention time? If you wanted to check, you can go. As of now I have only one. This is information schema tables. This is by default table which is available in the Snowflake. And suppose, how can we practice recovery? Suppose some disaster happened. Okay, how can we practice the recovery? Let's record has the current time before making changes. Now I am storing my current timestamp. Okay, just I wanted to show you how the current timestamp is. See, 2026 7 13 66. This is not our time zone. Okay, yes, wherever region we are selecting, that time zone. Wait at least 5 to 10 seconds after select above, then run the below disaster queries. Now I am updating. See here, now I am updating order status, all order status to cancelled. Okay, 10 records got updated. And now I wanted to see, this is the damage happened because orders are there, by mistakenly someone cancelled my data without knowing me. Now I wanted to retrieve. Earlier, if you observe carefully, I have order status, different status, right? Now we can see all are cancelled status only. That is not a something someone cancelled all the orders. This is not user made actually, some database mistake. How can we retrieve the old records is the point here. First method is at timestamp. Please remember, guys. First method is at timestamp. At timestamp. Select star from table at timestamp and the date which you wanted to see your data. Okay. Use when you know appropriately when the data was still correct. Okay, if you wanted to know with the timestamp. Okay, see what the table looked like 2 minutes ago before our bad update. So this and all you can see your at by using at timestamp. At timestamp is the first method to retrieve the data by using the time travel technique. So now how to write a query? Select star from table at timestamp, and here you can add your date. And here the best practice which I am using but we can directly pass this one. Add date is one of the syntax actually. Here from the current time it is going to pick the minutes actually minus 2 minutes. 2 minutes back I want to see how my table look likes. Okay, and I am doing the data types also here and select this one. See here 2 minutes back order status for me. 1 minute, guys. See, cancelled, delivered, shipped, processing. See, different types of four types of order types are there. Shipped, processing, cancelled, delivered. Now, in our order table, we have only cancelled. Someone blindly updated the order status. Okay. If you know the exact timestamp, if you want, you can also use this one. Okay, 7:13. Okay, good. Run this one. What is the date actually? The table is not created at that time. Okay, this time is different. On 6 I have we have seen 6, right? I am giving 5:30. At 5:30 we don't have any table, right? See, the table is not present actually. If you want you can check the current timestamp, select current timestamp, then you will understand. Now see here, why timestamp LTZ is required? Why again Karthika, why you are doing the timestamp data time casting something like this again and again? So to maintain the best actually, to maintain the correct timestamp, I am using this one. And also try querying at different timestamp to see how data evolves. Okay. And also this is one more thing. 5 minutes back, how my data look likes. 5 minutes back. See, shipped 3 records, delivered 4 records, cancelled one. How if you want, how can you if you wanted to write that way, you can write your query also. So this is how at timestamp is very useful. 5 minutes is fine. And 30 minutes back, 30 minutes back I don't have this database only, right? I don't have this table also. It should give time travel data is not available for table orders. The requested time is either beyond the allowed time travel period or before the object creation time. I don't have this object only, right? That's the error you can see here. I hope everybody understood the first method of Snowflake time travel is at timestamp, and second method is at offset. Go back in seconds, means go back this many seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 100 seconds. Okay, only in seconds you have to compare. How can we write the query? Select star from or some table from table at offset seconds. You have to keep when you know how long the data was correct. The offset is always negative, going back in time because minus you have to keep. Okay, minus 60 means 1 minute, minus 300 means 5 minutes, 600 means 10 minutes, 3600 means 1 hour. Basic calculations, right? Here I wanted to see 2 minutes back how my data looks like. How I have to write? Select star from orders at offset minus